Hey everybody, it's Jeremy Krulakowski here, and welcome to today's show. Today we are going to talk about what's really keeping you from the income that you want, that you need, that you deserve, that you know is possible, but you're like, oh, why can I not seem to do it? Why am I stuck here? And this is really for somebody who, again, and I said want, need, because maybe you're on here and you're like, I don't necessarily need to make more money. I already make really good money. I work my butt off. I mean, I'm making more than I ever made. My spouse and I, or just myself, I mean, I am loaded. Like I have more money than I know what to do with, but I don't know where it's going, or I don't know how to manage it better, or that kind of stuff. That might be you, but I can just be honest with you guys and say, good amount of people that are watching this, it's probably not as much that as it is like, that deep down you need to make more. And maybe not in the next month, maybe not in the next two, but over the next year, 2, 5 years, I mean, you've got to do something, because you're looking at the money coming in going, like, this is great. But guys, like any intelligent person can look at a budget, or, where their money's going, and realize that, compared to where I want and need to be, like long term, like this is probably not going to be enough. And I can save, and I can cut back, and I can clip coupons, and I can, buy the discounted meat at Walmart, the day before it goes bad. And I can, download this money saving app, and I can do all this stuff, whatever, which, by the way, I don't advocate most of that stuff, but I'm saying you can do that. But at the end of the day, guys, you're going to find that that's not enough. You can only stretch the dollars coming in so far. And so really, this is for the person where you've been lied to about what the real problem is. And I want to give you guys some clarity. We were talking about this with clients the other night, and it's probably not what you think it is. So again, if you are a stay-at-home mom and you're like, I know I need to get in the game of income and I don't know where to begin, or you're someone, again, you've been in the workforce for a while, like, I need a promotion, I want a promotion, or I want to get a better job, or maybe you want to start a business and but guys, what I want to talk to you about is the real problem is, again, it's not what you think it is. It's not that you don't know how to negotiate properly. That's not the main problem. The main problem is that you don't know how to you don't know how to start the right business. What business should I start? Or, which job should I apply for? What resume template should I use? Or who should I network? Or how should I do this? That's not the real problem. The real problem, and I'm going to break it down into a few, different parts here, guys, is the real problem is that you're not really in the game. The real problem is that there is internal resistance to doing what you need to do in order to increase your income the right way. Now, here's what I mean. When I say you're not in the game, you might be going, well, Jeremy, I'm working my butt off. That's not what I'm saying. You might be working really hard, but the reality is that a lot of people are working hard, but they're not working intelligently. They're not working strategically. They know that, yes, you might be working 60 hours a week, might be working 80 hours a week and doing Uber and driving this and doing this side hustle and doing whatever. But deep down, that it's not really what you could and should be doing to really, truly move the ball down the court in a sustainable way. Right? We're around here, guys. Again, there's a lot of stuff out there about, you got to work yourself to death and do all these crazy side hustles and go deliver pizzas and do all this stuff. I don't think that is an absolute load of garbage, guys. Unless you literally have and I'm not saying this insensitively, but unless you have some sort of disability where it's like you cannot cognitively do something beyond delivering a pizza or driving a car. And by the way, the reason I'm saying this is because I want to empower you, because we have some freaking amazing smart clients, and we get in and we're like, dude, why are you driving Uber? Why are you doing that? Like, this doesn't make any sense, right? Like, you are so freaking intelligent. You're making 2 times this in your day job, or 3. Like, why would we do that? Guys, what I'm saying is that you might be working really, really, really hard right now. But what I'm saying, guys, is that there's something that's keeping you from doing the real thing that deep down what you need to do. And what we found, guys, time and time again, is that it's not that you don't know what to do. And even if you don't know exactly which business you want to start, or which job you need to apply for, or what certifications or practical things you might want, or maybe even need to get into the specific area that you want to get to, right? I mean, obviously, if you want to become a doctor, you're going to have to go through a specific kind of, program, or schooling or something like that, or, if you want to become a coder, you might have to learn that skill set. Or if you want to, again, guys, I mean, you name it, right? Like, you want to become a, marketer, for online businesses or local businesses, like, you're going to have to learn some marketing skills, right? Like, the skill set is important, right? But that's not the main issue. It's a matter of why are you not even attempting it? Why are you not motivated to do it? Why is it, or why are you making steps toward that? Or why have you been trying, but why is it not working? Why does it seem like every time you try to take a step toward that goal, you find yourself not really getting there. You find yourself, falling short. You find yourself procrastinating. You find yourself kicking the can down the road. You find yourself uninspired. You find that just no matter what you do, it doesn't seem to be working. And what I want to talk about again today is the real reason why. It's internal resistance, right? You can call it in your heart here if you want, and call it in your head here if you want, depending upon your opinion on that. But it's internal resistance. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, guys, is because I'm so freaking tired of all the crappy advice out there and people making you think that the reason why you're not making the money that you want to make is because you don't have the right strategy. And that's the problem. And let me just give you this strategy. Let me give you this perfect business plan. Let me give you this perfect formula, and it's all going to add up. And guys, do you need a strategy? Yes. Do you need a business plan? Well, not even sometimes, not even really, no. But the real problem is, again, why are you not acting on that? Why are you not seeking it out? Why are you not going after it? And guys, again, what I really want to give you some clarity on is the fact that that's not really the main problem. It's not that you live in a bad area. It's not that you didn't go to college maybe, or you didn't have this specific degree. It's not that, you don't have the skills. That's not really the main issue. It's the internal resistance. And why are you not really in the game? Why are you not making the attempt? Why are you not sticking it out? Why are you not following through? And even then, why is it that whenever you start, you seem to hit a wall, or something seems to happen, or something is robbing you of the effectiveness of actually being able to follow through and get the goal and get the income that you want to get? That's what we're going to be talking about right now. So let's just talk about, guys. And so here's what I'm trying to say is that, yes, strategy is important. But guys, what I want to talk about right now is I want to talk about, first of all, what are some of the I'm just going to give you guys a big overview of what this could look like practically speaking. So what do you mean internal resistance? What are you talking about, Jeremy? Good question, right? When I say internal resistance, I'm talking about the beliefs that you have around, making more money, about your ability to do that, around what it would mean, who you'd have to become. And guys, really what we found is that there are emotions and there are beliefs all up in here that clog the gears and keep you, from actually generating the income and taking the steps that you need to. So I'll give you a perfect example. We have an amazing client right now. There's, that's a couple. And the husband, I love him to death. He's freaking awesome. But for years, he's been on disability and he hasn't really been earning an income. And we're getting into it, and we're talking about it. And it's his wife was kind of like, I don't get it. You got all this potential. You could be, you could do this, and you could do this, and you could do this, and you could do this. Meanwhile, for years, it wasn't really happening. And what it came down to was, for him, back in the day, he was addicted to drugs. And for him, he was his biggest fear is that if he made more money and was successful, that he would actually go back into that. And so all of the advice about, hey, just do this, and hey, try this strategy, and hey, do this, it didn't really matter, because he wasn't really in the game, because there was internal resistance. There was a fear of success. And what I found is that, guys, it is the fear of success. It is the fear of failure. It's what if they say no? What if I look like an idiot? What if I fall on my face? It is, we even had a guy who was sharing last night. He said, I went up to my boss and I said, just the other day, she was venting about how she wasn't making enough money and she didn't get what she deserved. And he just said, hey, to be honest with you, I feel like you didn't really make me a good enough offer either. And so, but he's like, so just so you know, I'm looking to advance in the company. And I was like, Steve, what made the difference? Why did you actually have that conversation now? Why did you not have it in the past? What was the difference? And he said, honestly, it's because I didn't feel worthy. And he said he had so many issues in terms of his self-worth and limiting beliefs, all these sorts of things that were in the way, just past failures, past, work experiences, where basically he just didn't feel like he was worthy. So he didn't advocate for himself. And what was hilarious is I was like, you didn't need me to give you the 10-step plan. First you sit down and you talk to your employer. Then, you ask them, okay, what specifically do you need? And then you ask this, and then you come in with the power close, and then you do this. That wasn't the issue. The issue was that he didn't need me to spoon feed him to tell him what to say. It was a matter of, why did he not want to say it? Why did he not want to go for it? And even the previous couple, the guy that I was just talking about, literally the moment we got him over what was really blocking him and keeping him stuck, now they're doing research. And it was even hilarious is that for years, he's like, I'm not a technology guy. He's like, I'm not into technology. He doesn't do technology. He's intimidated by it. He feels stupid around it. Now he's getting on the freaking computer and he's Googling. He's like, how do I make money doing this? How do I make money doing this? How do I move the ball down the court on this? And now he's got all these options, and together they're making forward progress with this business, and he's starting his own business. And it's like he's going to get off of disability, and now he's going to go out there and he's going to make way, way, way more than he would ever get from that. And he's getting out of his comfort zone. So the real question is, again, guys, why are you still in your comfort zone? Why are you not wanting to step out of your comfort zone? And that's really the real issue. It's the fear, it's the anxiety, it's the overwhelm about where do I even begin? Where do I start? And what we find is that, guys, like it is those beliefs, it is those emotions. If you don't know how to overcome anxiety around, making more money, if you don't know how to deal with what is underlying it, what is causing the stress, what is causing the overwhelm, what is causing the panic, what is causing me to hyperventilate when I think about it, what is causing me to get depressed when I think about it. If you can't get to those root issues, guys, you're never going to try. You're never going to try. You're going to find that every single time, like you even, maybe you buy that book or maybe you have that conversation, whatever, but it just falls flat. You get 5 pages in, you put it back down, you give up. You research on the computer for 30 minutes, and then you get off and you never do it again. Or you find that a year into the job, 5 years into it, whatever, you're still making the same amount of money, or you're still working the same dead end job, or you're still, the same position that you swore, you would not be in, at this point in life. And it's like you find that you're just not moving the ball on the court. Guys, underlying all of it, like I said, it is internal resistance. It is self-doubt. It is fear. It is anxiety. It is overwhelm. And it is your beliefs around money. It's your belief around success. I'll give you guys a good example. Again, if you think that by being a successful person, that it's going to jeopardize your soul, that it's going to send you to hell potentially, that, maybe it's being selfish, maybe it's being greedy, all these sorts of things, guys, you're never going to attempt it. Never. You're never going to attempt it. Because, guys, raise your hand, guys, if you're watching this, if you are like, oh yeah, sign me up for being the greedy person, who ends up going to hell because I want to make a lot of money, right? That's not going to be you. And so, guys, what I really want to talk about with this is really going back to the parable of the talents. I don't know if you guys remember this one, if you're watching it, but if you want to go read it, I believe it's Matthew 25 or 24. I got to go back and check again. But it is really, guys, it's really interesting that when you look at, the servant that was, rebuked by the master, was cast, get away from me, you wicked and lazy servant. Guys, what was really interesting is that underneath all of it, right? Underneath all of it, it was like, we could say, he didn't know he wasn't rebuked for not knowing what to do. All right, guys, he saw what the other people were doing. He could have taken that step to bring about a greater yield or return for his master. The question is, why did he not do it? Ultimately, guys, it was fear, laziness, selfishness. Basically, he had his own interests over that of his master. And if you're watching this right now, I'm really going to say something that is really sharp, and it's controversial, but I really believe this is true. And I believe that, guys, in this country, in the United States of America, if you're in the US right now, if you're in the West, and in this country, in this day and age, you have been given probably one of the greatest talents in the form of something of wealth that God has given you to steward, something of opportunity to advance his kingdom than ever. I mean, guys, there has never been a better and easier time to be able to make a lot of money, even doing what you love, even from home. I mean, stuff like this. And the work that you want, whether it's for yourself or some other person, it's crazy, guys, the opportunities that are out there to be able to make a lot of money and do a lot of good in the world. And guys, what's really interesting is that I honestly believe that one of the biggest myths keeping Christians especially stuck is that it's selfish to want to do that. It's greedy, it's wrong, it's evil, it's wicked, whatever, to want to say, I want to make a ton of money, I want to make millions, I want to make billions of dollars. And the reason why you're not making more is, again, ultimately, foundationally, again, there's internal resistance. And one of the biggest ones, like I said, is that you just don't want it. At the end of the day, you don't want it that bad. And I've heard it from so many people. Well, I want to make millions, but I don't want to make a million. I want to be a millionaire. I just want to do enough to get by. And I wonder if that's what the wicked servant said as well. And guys, I'm really saying this from a place of, I had to rebuke myself. I realized that really my laziness, my fear, my indecision, it was an addiction to my comfort zone that I was calling, spiritual and all these things. Even for me, I was afraid of going to hell. I was afraid, oh my gosh, what if I make all this money? What if I do this? And realize even that I was preoccupied with my own soul versus the souls of millions of people out there that, guys, they don't have Bibles in their language. They don't have food. They're going to die today from some disease that I would never be susceptible to, from just something stupid, like just a little dirty water. I'm not going to die from something like that because I have clean water. I have good food. I have healthcare. I have things right at the tip. I mean, if I have a problem, I call and the ambulance is here in 5-10 minutes. They don't have that luxury. They don't have that ability. And guys, what I've found, if you're watching this, is that what I really want to challenge you, if you are a Christian, is this idea that it's more spiritual to be poor. It's more spiritual to be broke. And guys, honestly, if you think about any good work that you want to do in this world, I mean, just stop and think about it. And ultimately, guys, that is our purpose. If you're a Christian, our purpose is to do greater works for the glory of God, as many as you possibly can before you die. That's it. And unless God strikes you down, like the Apostle Paul off the horse and tells you, here's a specific mission, I honestly believe, guys, if you really think about it, one of the most strategic ways, if not the most strategic way, to be able to multiply good works and to be able to transform the world is through money. I mean, if you really think about it, it is the great multiplier. If my desire, oh, well, I want to feed more starving children. Well, guys, listen, I mean, your hands are going to be helpful. I mean, but you can only cook so much food. You can only do that. You can only hand out so many things. But what if you could donate $100,000 to your favorite charity that's doing that? It's basically like multiplying you by 10, 20, 30, 100, 2,000 people. I mean, how crazy is that? It's pretty freaking cool. I think it's awesome, right? If you think about one of the things you want to do, well, I want to, help more people get Bibles into their own language. Well, guys, I mean, you can only do so much. You can only do so much, at going and, asking people, hey, can you contribute to this and continue to contribute to this? What if you just made a ton of money and then you went out there and did that yourself? And guys, and again, it's really taking what you want to do and it's multiplying you and your desires for the kingdom of God times 10, times 100, times 1,000, times 1,000,000. And guys, what I've just found is that at the end of the day, so many Christians, what we're doing is we're calling it spiritual. We're calling it, oh my gosh, it's not, it's not, I just don't love money. I don't love this. I love God, whatever it would be. At the end of the day, it's really laziness, it's selfishness, and it's coding that over really what it is just playing small, and it's wanting to be in your comfort zone. I don't want to be fearful. I don't want to be, challenged. I don't want to have to get out of my comfort zone. I don't want to have to do something that's unfamiliar. And guys, that's what I'm finding is the real problem. At the end of the day, it's still ultimately about us. And if I ask anybody here watching this, why do you not want to make millions? Why would you not want to make billions? And then take that and use it to spread the gospel. I mean, guys, if you go like on Wycliffe Bible translations, guys, if you look at all the projects they have, I mean, guys, it's not going to take $1 billion to be able to accomplish all those right now. I mean, we're talking like, maybe tens of millions of dollars. But guys, ultimately, if you really committed yourself to doing that, anybody watching this could be able to do that. And you guys could fund these projects. You could get all these Bible translated. We're like, we got to get more Bible translators. We got to translate more people, train more people. We got to get more projects started because we did it all. These people covered it all. I mean, guys, like that's what should be really happening. But guys, like in the church, like there's so many things that are going undone, so many good works because there's not enough money. Because people ultimately in the church do not feel free to be able to just be totally obsessed with wanting to make more money. And I'm telling you guys, it comes down to your desire, to your intention, and really your willingness to get uncomfortable. Because if I ask you, why do you not want to do it? I would challenge you right now and ask yourself, is it really because of God, or is it really because every single time it comes down to, well, I don't want to get tired. I don't want to have to miss out on my fun. I don't want to have to get uncomfortable. And guys, what's really crazy about it is, first of all, it's more blessed to give than to receive. So the more money you make, the more joy you're going to find in your life, the more happiness that you're going to find because you're able to help more people, do more good things. Secondly, guys, the more money you make, the greater quality of life you have, guys. When you don't have debt, when you got a nice emergency fund, when you can go on vacations, when you can do, guys, life is awesome. So like, I'm not saying you got to take every single dollar and give it away and you have to live in a cardboard box. Like you can have a really freaking great quality of life and change the world. I mean, guys, even if you made $1 billion before you died, you gave away 900 million of it. Do you think you'd be okay and have a pretty cool life on 100 million if that's what you chose to do? Yeah, hello. And for some reason, like even then it'd be like, oh, he's greedy. He only gave away 900 million. Meanwhile, the person who only made $5 million in their lifetime and gave away, maybe $100,000 and spent most of their free time just watching Netflix or eating, junk food and, or just, working jobs that they knew, were below their skill set or below their real value or didn't challenge himself, whatever. That guy never gets challenged and rebuked, but this guy's the one who always gets. And that's the problem, guys, is that in society, even in the church, but even in movies and stuff, it's the successful person who makes a lot of money, the business person, the whatever. There's always the bad guy in the movies. It's the evil person. It's all the programming that you've gotten to think that, getting to that point, you have to lose your family. You have to lose all your money. You have to lose everything in order to get that. And that's just an absolute myth. And it will happen if you don't know how to do it the right way. But at the same time, guys, I talk to people every day that they're losing their families because they don't have enough money. Their kids are threatening suicide because they're so disconnected from their kids because they have to work like crazy, or even when they're home, they're not present. Their spouses are there's obviously they're on the fast track to divorce. They've already gotten divorced. Or again, they're having suicidal thoughts, or they're guys, and there's two forms of suicide. One of them's fast, where it involves something drastic. The other one, it's death by 1,000 bites. It's death by 1,000 drinks, death by 1,000 smokes, death by 1,000 not getting up off your butt and getting to the gym, death by because you're apathetic, you're depressed, you're exhausted because you're so freaking worn out from not being able to pay the bills and not being able to really get out of debt and feel freedom and go on a freaking vacation without putting on a credit card. Guys, at both extreme. I mean, of course, there's extremes in both. And guys, I don't want you to become that type of person, but listen, there's too many Christians that are over here. Why is it that when you look at the top, 400 wealthiest people, it's like that most of them are not, from what I can tell, probably not Christians, guys. And even so, why is that? Why is it that the people that have the word of God, that have the principles of how to build wealth and have the God of the universe by their side are usually, but people that, people I talk to all the time, many of them are some of the most broke, busted, and disgusted people. And I was one of them for most of my life. And it's like, guys, I just don't believe that God's will for us is, unless you're Mother Teresa, or again, you're someone who has to take a vow of poverty to do the work that they're supposed to be doing, and God just reveals that to you, or something happens, that we're meant to just be broke to where we can't help people in need. And guys, even if you look at the Apostle Paul, people are like, oh, I want to be like Paul. Okay, great. Look at Acts 20. Even in Acts 20, guys, he made not just enough money for him, but for the needs of those around him. Because Jesus said it was more blessed to give than to receive. And even when he could have stopped and he could have just, held back. Hey, happy Friday to you, Michelle. He could have just held back. He could have said, okay, I got enough. I paid my bills. I'm good to go. He said, no, I'm not done. There's more people that need me. And I would just ask you guys right now, and I would challenge you right now. If you are not making, if you're barely getting by and you're not able to give to your church, not able to give to the needy, to the poor, ask yourself, who am I focusing on? Am I focusing on me or on God and on them? And which servant am I? Am I the lazy and wicked servant who's going to be rebuked one day and say, hey, guess what? You weren't really living for me, even though you did all the worship services and you sang all the praise songs and you read your Bible 20 times, a day, and you did all this other stuff, but you neglected the needy around you because you were too lazy to get off your butt and go do something with your life and make enough money to change the world. Or are you going to be the person who said, you know what? I'm going to have to take some risk. I'm going to have to get outside my comfort zone. I'm going to have to do some difficult things, but I know that it's worth it. The kingdom of God is worth it. There's people out there that need me. And guys, if you're watching this and this resonates with your heart, it's because God has destined you to make a bigger impact and you're not living it. And you know that there's something wrong, but you don't know why. And guys, if that's you, then it's like, that's why we're here. And that's ultimately why we help people, is because I'm so tired of seeing so many Christians that have an amazing potential, an amazing skill set, an amazing ability to be able to make a lot of money and do a lot of good in this world with it. And they're playing small, they're staying in their comfort zone, and we're calling it spiritual. We're calling it all this stuff, which really, it's just crap. It is absolute crap. It is fear. It is overwhelm. It is anxiety. It is depression, self-doubt in disguise. And we're calling it spiritual. And it's just got to stop. I'm putting it into it. That's why I'm doing this video. I freaking shared this with people that you know. Share it with your Christian friends. Share it with your pastor. Send it with people, because, guys, people need our help, period. And we cannot do that when we are living broke, and all we can do is focus on our own bills and our own needs. And meanwhile, there's people around you starving and suffering. It's like, sorry, I'm still trying to figure out how to make my mortgage payment next month. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out how to keep my light bills. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out how to keep Visa, MasterCard, Wells Fargo, Sallie Mae, all these people off of my back so that I can breathe. Sorry, still trying to figure out how to pay the hospital bill from last month because I almost had a stroke. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure this out because I'm still dealing with autoimmune issues because I'm still so stressed out. I don't have money to give to you because I'm going to have to use it all on medications, because deep down, I got money stress and I'm not dealing with it. I don't have a plan for my money. Sorry. And guys, I'm not picking on you. I was this guy. That's why I'm so freaking passionate about this. Because I remember walking through a house one day when I was in college, and this family was hosting us, and all my peers was like 20 of us, 30 of us, like, sleeping in their house. These people opened up their homes, beautiful home, absolutely incredible, gave us food. I didn't pay a dime for it. And I'm walking around their house, their big house, and I'm like, shame. Storing up treasures on earth, man, totally missing it. Totally missing it. These people are missing it. And guys, like, meanwhile, these are probably the people that are giving tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to change the world. And he's the guy who was willing to get out of his comfort zone, work hard enough to make the money to be able to do that. And yes, have the nice house, which, oh, by the way, he was using to help people and serve people and advance the kingdom of God. And so, guys, like, we can call it that, but again, how much of it is just, we can call it, oh, it's spiritual, but again, how much of it is just laziness? How much of it is selfishness? How much of it is envy? How much of it is greed? How much of it is just, bitterness because, again, they did it and you did it, or you don't know how to. And guys, I was that guy for the longest time. I didn't know how to make more money. I felt stuck. I felt broke. I mean, I had guys, I didn't have, the silver spoon in my mouth. I didn't have everyone telling me exactly what to do and how to do it. I had to go figure it out. But the point was, guys, I got sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I got in the freaking game. And if you're watching this and you're not fully in the game, or you're dabbling in the game, I want you to be all in on the game. I want you to be all in on your purpose, which is to do good works, which is to transform lives. And guys, honestly, I can't think of anything better, honestly. And I'm not, it's not because I'm obsessed with money. It's just that when I think about practically, ultimately every single, I'm looking at all these letters of all these nonprofits of hey, here's how we're going to advance the work. Here's how to advance the work. They want you to pray. Pray, please pray. But the number one ask was, please send us more dollars. That was it. So guys, like if Christians are not getting the income that they want, ultimate and from some internal resistance, we have to clear out that resistance so that guys, we can change the world because the world desperately needs us. And guys, the truth is that strategies are a dime a dozen. They're everywhere. I mean, information is all over the internet. If you want to find out ways to be able to make a lot of money, it's not hard. And I've literally like spoon fed here's exactly how you could take this business model. You already have the skill set, or it's only going to take you 2 months or 3 months, and you could do this, or 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 you could do this, because we have people doing this and this and this and this and this. And it's all stuff they could do, and then they don't act on it. And it was, well, first of all, part of the problem is I was giving it to friends and family for free. Okay, there was no skin in the game. But part of the problem, guys, ultimately was that, again, deep down, there was all this internal resistance. It was all of this internal resistance that they hadn't cleared. And guys, strategies and information are a dime a dozen. That's like, guys, YouTube is out there, Google is out there. But guys, like, do you really think that the reason why 78% of our population is overweight is because there aren't enough gyms or books on dieting? It's not the problem. And I think if you're watching this, you and probably many other people are waking up. Okay. And like, guys, there's tons of great church programs out there and books and money stuff and great people that have great intentions. There's radio shows. But guys, the problem that I have with almost all of it is that it's just coaching on the surface, it's talking on the surface, and they're not getting to the root issues behind what's really keeping you stuck and what's keeping you from actually taking the steps that these people commend. Hey, you should pay off more debt. It's not that hard. Hey, put more 15% of your money in retirement. It's not that hard. Hey, you should start, get an emergency fund. Guys, if people are so freaking tired of hearing this, it's like they know what they should be doing, but they don't know why they're not. Why do I keep not doing it? Why do I keep getting off track? Why do I not stick it out? Why can I not be motivated or disciplined, to do it? It's ultimately, that is why people have been reaching out to us like crazy. That's why because deep down they've tried all these other things, but they've ultimately never tried having real accountability and someone who's really going to get under the surface and figure out what is it that's really keeping you stuck? What is it that's really keeping you from doing all the things you need to do? Because guys, if you're watching this right now, every single person, if you can even comment on it, you can even type in one thing you need to do. But I can promise you, every single person watching this, you all know, you could name at least one thing that you could do today that would help you make more money and make a bigger difference in the world. And obviously, yes, help you pay off debt and save and do the things that you need to do for your own household, but you're not doing it. Everybody does. Everybody does. There's stuff that I can think of this week. I'm like, okay, I could have done this. I could have done this. But ultimately, it wasn't that I didn't know what to do. It was because there was some internal resistance. Maybe I wanted to do this other thing instead, or maybe I want to do that. It's not always a bad thing, guys. Sometimes it's good stuff, But the reality is that most of the time for the people that we talk to, there's some negative internal energy. There's some, some emotion that's keeping them stuck. Some belief around who they are, what they're capable of, what they're not able to do, their circumstances, the economy, all of this kind of crap and garbage that keeps them stuck. And we got to clear all of that stuff so that we can make room for your dream. So if you've gotten this far and you are resonating with this and you are like, this is a freaking spring in the midst of the Sahara. I mean, oh my gosh, where has this been my entire life? Well, guys, friends, welcome home. And this is what I had not heard for most of my life. I didn't think it was the real problem. It was, I was even talking to one of our clients recently. He's like, they just came in the program and he was like, it's like, I'm embracing the hokey stuff, the woo-woo stuff, the stuff that really, it's like, it's not just about, the budget and, and getting all these things in a row. And guys, we do that. You need help with that. Like you need to have a plan for your money. You need to have, systems and structures, and we help people with that. But really, guys, if you've watched any of our interviews, if you talk to any of our people, they will tell you the number one thing that got them unstuck and got them really skyrocketing toward their goals was their mindset, their internal beliefs, and their emotions. Really, guys, clearing out all of that internal resistance that keeps them from doing the things that they know they need to do and they want to do, or even taking the steps to find out what they want to do. And then when they do them successfully, do them with power, do them with perseverance, do them with structure, with goal, with ease, with excitement, with fun. That's what really matters, guys. And if you need help with that, go to jeremykurlikowski.com, book a free call today, and let's figure out, guys, really what's keeping you stuck. What do you guys need help with? Like, how can we support you? And let's get a plan to be able to put that together and help you guys figure it out. Okay. Because guys, ultimately, that's why I'm here. I'm here to get to the truth of what's wrong, what's not working, and what you need and how we can help you. And if I can help you, I'll let you know. If I can't, I'll let you know that too. I'm not going to lie. Guys, listen, like I don't take on liabilities. We're not working with thousands of people a month. Guys, like we work with people that are committed, that are serious, that are ready to take their money management, their income, their communication around money, all of these sorts of things to the next level, because they're sick and tired of playing small. They know that God has destined them for greater, and they know that life is too short to spend time living in regret or get to the end of your life going, what if? I mean, guys, if I can think of anything that terrifies me more than anything, it would be getting to the end of my life and knowing that I literally gave only like a fraction of what I was capable of, that I only left this big of a dent when I could have left a dent the size of, like a crater on the moon, or something. That's probably not a good enough one. I'd say Grand Canyon size. But even that, I don't want to leave a Grand Canyon size. I leave a dent that covers the entire scope, the entire scope, surface of the globe. I mean, I want to have dents in every place all over the entire world, because I want to change the world, guys. And ultimately, again, I know that if you're living check to check, or if you're struggling, or right now you're not making the money that you want, or you're feeling like it's really tight, you're like, Jeremy, I want to change the world, but I'm just trying to fix my inner world. I'm just trying to fix my own home. Well, guys, again, you have to start with that so that you can get to that greater purpose. But guys, ultimately, that's what God has called us to. God is not just calling us in Scripture to take care of our own bills. He calls us to have enough to provide for our relatives, for the needy around us. And guys, listen, if you don't know how to clear out what's really keeping you stuck, and what's keeping you from taking action, guys, you're going to spend the rest of your life in debt. You're going to spend the rest of I talk to people, guys, been like this for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. It's not getting better. It's not improving. They're in the same old grind, the same old pattern. It's not changing, guys. And guys, listen, the greatest indicator of future performance is past. If nothing has changed in the last 5, 10, 20 years, doing it on your own, what the heck makes you think that you're going to just read a book, or you're just going to YouTube or something, or have a good conversation with someone, and then all of a sudden you become a millionaire, or you turn your complete life around, and you have drastic, amazing strides that you make in your life, guys? It just doesn't really work like that. I mean, sometimes there's a book, or there's something, or a conversation you have that'll light a fire in you that'll do that. But guys, sustain the results. You need someone who's in your corner. You need a community of people, especially, guys, right now. More than ever, people are lonely. People are isolated. They need support. They need people who are going to love them, encourage them, cheer them on, that are going to actually hold them accountable and help them, guys, figure out what's really wrong, because the inside of the jar cannot read the outside of the label. We need help. Everyone needs help. I need help. That's why I spend tens of thousands of dollars a year on coaching. It's not because I'm stupid. It's because I know that I need support. I need someone looking at me from the outside going, dude, here's what's really, have you thought about this? What about this? I've noticed you're doing this. What's up with that? Oh my gosh, I didn't even see that. And so, guys, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. And so I just wanted you to know, guys, that ultimately, if there's internal resistance and you don't clear it, no matter what you do, it's going to not work. It's going to fail. It's like, instead of everything turning to gold, it's going to turn to coal. And you're going to find that it just does not get you where you want to be. And I want you guys to know that, again, the problem is not what you probably think it is. It's not that, again, you haven't had the right resume yet. You haven't had you haven't had the right boss. The economy is not in the greatest time. The president that you want didn't get elected. It's not that you don't know how to negotiate, or that you that you don't know which business to start, or that you don't know what degree, or that you're too old, or you don't know enough technology. That's not the real problem. The real problem is everything going on in your internal world, and your beliefs and your emotions. And guys, I know it might sound a little bit, again, woo-woo. It might sound a little bit ethereal, and I get it. For me, I didn't buy into this stuff for the longest time until I did. Until I got, even when I did my first coaching program, I got to the end of the program. I was like in week 7 or 8. And I was having a literal meltdown. I was like, oh my gosh, this isn't working. And I'm falling short. And I didn't get this done and this done. Oh my gosh, I want to quit. And I ignored all the stuff around mindset. I ignored all of the stuff deep down that was really, is what gets the results for people, and what keeps people persevering in the midst of challenge and setback and whatever it would be. And ultimately, like, once I finally was like, fine, I'm going to do this freaking stuff around, mindset and things like that. And, and practice the things that we now teach our people. And we expanded way on, way more than I ever, was originally doing. It's like, that's what started to make the systems work. So that's what made my marketing work. That's what got me, to be able to transform my business and grow it to where it is today. And to be able to help so many people do the same with their business, with their income, and really just have amazing relationships, have an amazing family and quality of life, and an ability to give and to transform thousands of lives around the world, guys, because when you have money, the more money you have, the more good you can do in the world with it. And that's just what we believe. So why not get really wealthy? Why not make a crazy ton of money? Why not raise your hand today and say, I want to make millions. I want to make billions before I die. And if you don't want to do it, I would just challenge you, why? And try to give me an answer that doesn't ultimately come back to your own fears, your own unwillingness to get out of your comfort zone. And guys, I promise the moment you can say, I surrender that to you, God, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to be able to make the biggest difference in the world, expand my territory, blow this thing up, use me. I don't care how scary it is, guys, and you're willing to get the help of someone who can help you work through those things and do what you need to do to make it successful. Then ultimately, guys, again, book a call, jeremykulikowski.com, and let's see /apply, and we'll see how we can help you guys. And again, if you're watching this and you're like, oh gosh, this sounds kind of scary. No, guys, we don't hold guns to people's heads. And no, we're not like going to, make you, feel like a piece of crap if you don't like double your income in the first month or two, whatever. And again, like I said, a lot of you guys watching this, you're already making really great money, but it's just a matter of like, what are those tweaks? Like, why would you not want to make more? Like if you could make, especially if you could make doing less hours, being more efficient, having a better quality of life, like there are ways to structure your life where you can make even more money and do greater good. And I would say, guys, if you don't want to make more money, really just ask yourself, who is it really about? Is it about you and like your own, fears and insecurities around it, which ultimately you need help with? Or is it really about the people that need your help? Because guys, again, the more money you make, the more good you can do in the world, in your family, and in the world. And that's just my belief. And if you don't believe it, I don't really care, because I know it's true. And I know that the people that we've seen do that would tell you the exact same thing. And I know that you would find it to be true too, the moment you would do it. The reason why you might challenge it or you might ridicule it is because you don't think it's possible. It's a coping mechanism. And maybe you just, again, it's like you just don't think that you can really do it. And I'm telling you guys, if you feel beat down by life, if you feel like you've been hit where it hurts, if you feel stuck, and if you feel like I just don't know where to begin, guys, I get it. I was that guy. So many of our clients were those people. And if you're mocking it or laughing at it or scoffing at it right now, I'm like, oh God, that sounds whatever. This guy's full of crap again. I get it. But deep down, let's just be honest. It's because you're depressed about it. It's because you're anxious about it. It's because ultimately you're frustrated and you're beating yourself up and you feel like a failure. You feel like a loser because you're in your 30s or 40s or 50s or 60s, especially guys, the older you get, almost every single time. Deep down, if you're in your 40s, 50s, and 60s especially, you got almost no retirement, or you still got more debt than you even have in retirement, or again, you're still not really making the money that you could have made by now, you wanted and you should have made by now. If you're still not where you want to be financially, and you're seeing all these other people, maybe it's your brothers, maybe it's your sisters, maybe it's your family members, other friends, they're being financially successful, they're hitting their goals, and meanwhile you're stuck and you're frustrated. Deep down, you feel like a failure. Deep down, you feel like you're letting your family down. Deep down, you feel like you're not enough. And guys, I get it. I've been there, I've done that, got the t-shirt. I got every t-shirt in every size, every color, right? But guys, ultimately, I got the hand of somebody who could help me out, actually multiple people. And that's why I am here today. I took their hand. I did what they told me to do very simply. And I just acted on it. And I got the result. And that's what we do for our people. It's like, it's very simple, guys. You just find people that care, that have the expertise, that have proven results. You do what they tell you to do, and then you show up, do the work, and then you get the transformation in your life. It's really not that hard. You just need people that can help. And maybe this is the first time you've met. And if so, welcome. It's good to meet you. And again, I would love to help you if you need any help. So again, jeremykulikowski.com/apply. Link is in the comments. And if you need any help, guys, just let us know. We'd be happy to help you. And so, guys, there's a ton of value here, a ton of value. So again, if you watch this and you need, your spouse needs to hear this, a family member needs to hear this, someone that you know and love needs to hear this, guys, please share this with them, not to get our brand out there and what we do. Guys, honestly, it's because I want to change the world. And it's one thing for me to want to make billions and change the world, but like my passion is really to help as many of you guys make as much money as you can and be as successful as you can to do the greatest amount of good in your family, starting with your family, and then going out there and being able to transform the world and being able to be used by God to make a huge difference. And guys, fund these projects, heal this world. And there's so many people that are dying, that they're dying without God. They're dying unnecessarily. They're suffering. They're in sex trafficking. They're in sex slavery. They're in, they don't have clean water. They don't have Bibles. They have no knowledge of God. And guys, literally the only thing that we need to be able to get them that for almost every single one of these projects is just more money being pumped into that system, into that work that God is doing. And so guys, it doesn't all happen through nonprofits, but guys, I'm just saying, like, it's one of the greatest ways to be able to do that. Obviously, you can help your neighbor. Maybe your family member needs you. Maybe your mom, your elderly parents. Maybe your son or your daughter needs you. Maybe somebody needs that, but you can't do that. You can't give them that gift that they need to get right now because, again, you just don't have the resources. And I want you to be able to do that too. So again, guys, if you need help, jeremykulikowski.com/apply, and we'll talk to you very soon, see what we can do to help you guys and get this figured out. So have an amazing time, guys, amazing day. Again, share us with people you know and love, help us change the world, be the light, and we will talk to you guys and see you guys on the next show. So have a great day, guys. We'll talk to you soon.